Welcome to episode 11 of the Mr. Hayden podcast. And look, it's been a crazy few months, and I want to just talk about in this episode feelings and how I actually don't think you should listen to your feelings as much as most people do. So that's what we're going to discuss. I've got my notes down here. I've segmented out the episode, and then I'm going to do a summary at the end as well. So, whether you're listening to this on Spotify or whether you're listening to this on YouTube, I appreciate you more than you know. So, why I don't like listening to my feelings now? I feel like I've been cheated by my feelings in the past. So, my feelings told me to be happy. My feelings told me that I should be chasing happiness. And my feelings told me that if I don't feel happy doing something, then I probably shouldn't do it. And this is a dangerous game. So the first thing on my notes is feelings are based on the now and not the future. So a lot of people think that their feelings for now should dictate the actions that they take now. And obviously every action that we take now has a direct correlation on our future and what we achieve in the future. So if you make a change or if you do something different now, you must live with the consequences of what the repercussion of them actions are going to be in the future. And the problem with listening to your feelings, and this is something that I've gone through many a times, made decisions on how I felt about a certain situation, have led me to future feelings that are actually worse than the feelings that I should have probably just got through. Let me give you an example. This podcast right now has not got many listeners. And I'll level with you. Sometimes I feel like, what's the point in doing it? I've got businesses that just in the last month have generated 130,000 plus in revenue with tens and tens of thousands of profit. And to be quite honest with you, if I just stuck to the Amazon related content, I could earn a lot more money short term than what I do doing this podcast. So I could listen to my feelings that sometimes say to myself, what's the point in doing this? It's not an income generating task at this time. But the problem with that would be that this podcast is a passion of mine, and this podcast, compounded over hundreds of episodes, could actually be not only a good income, but something that I would love to do long term, something that I'm extremely passionate about. But listen to what I said there. My feelings tell me otherwise. My feelings tell me that it's not worth doing it, because it's not income generating and it hasn't got much momentum left. But if I listen to them feelings, I would not see the compounding effect of the actions that I'm doing right now. So in this instance, my feelings are wrong. And that's what I'm trying to get here, guys. A lot of people make the mistake of listening to their feelings now, and then that ripple effect impacts how they feel and what they achieve at a later date in life. And it's a really interesting and hyper important realization to have. A lot of the feelings that we have right now are not necessarily relevant. And humans generally try to avoid hardships. Humans generally, 99% of humans try to avoid tough times and just want happiness. But what I've learnt in the last few years is that if you just live your life for feeling great and feeling 100% all the time, and if you start dictating your life on how you feel and you can't bear to feel any unhappiness, or you assume that you're not on the right path, that's in many ways going to lead you down the wrong path. Because the truth is, a vitally important part of growth, not just financially, but a growth mindset and achievement, is by going through tough times, achieving things that have caused you stress, achieving things above and beyond the limitations that you thought you had in your mind, and pushing yourself past barriers. Far too many people that I know are now living a life that is not congruent with what they wanted because they weren't willing to go through tough times. And whenever things got a little bit hard, whenever things got a little bit too tough, and whenever they struggled with certain situations, rather than pushing through it, rather than learning from it and coming through the other side, they had a very short-sighted view on that situation, and they deemed it was not worth it. We've all got that parent or that friend that says, you just got to do what makes you happy, or you should just do happy stuff, or you should just, if you're not enjoying it, then quit, all that sort of stuff. Now, the truth to that is that if your intuition deeply tells you shouldn't be doing something, then maybe that's a big red flag. But a lot of the times, the feelings that you get are just your body telling you it's hard and it wants to stop. But you continuing when your body finds things hard, not when your intuition is telling you something's really bad. That's different, okay? That's your body telling you if something's ethical or if something's right for you. I'm talking about the feeling of just wanting to not be bothered to do something or just wanting to quit. We've all had that, We've all had that. The people that don't quit on them times and the people that continue to push through the feelings of wanting to stop something when they know deep down they should probably just keep going, they're the ones that win. And a lot of people are living a life that they wish they didn't have in terms of finances, like their job, their occupation, because they quit when that feeling comes about, when that feeling is apparent, and you've got to push through that feeling to get anywhere. So that's the first note. The second note in my diary is that, look, most of these feelings are based on past experiences or the limiting beliefs that your family or friends have given you. So why would you listen to a feeling to not do something based on your past experience or your family? I'll give you a good experience. Someone in my family used to say to me, oh, you shouldn't do it if it doesn't make you happy. Or if you're not enjoying it, then you should just quit. And that person just truthfully hasn't achieved the life that I want. So why would you listen to them? No, truthfully, why would you listen to someone if they haven't achieved the life you want? You wouldn't hire a boxing coach that hasn't done boxing. You wouldn't hire an artist to teach you how to paint if they've never painted. So why are you listening to someone that hasn't mastered their life if it's not where you want to be? And secondly, the past experiences that you have a lot of the time are setting you up for failure. So if you want to achieve something, if you want to be someone, if you want to be someone that's greater than who you are, mentally, physically, financially, then all of these emotions that you get when something is hard are trying to keep you back to what you know, trying to keep you in a life that isn't any longer what you want. And going to the gym is a prime example of this. A lot of people really struggle to go to the gym consistently. Now, I'm someone that's gone to the gym consistently since I was about 16, 17. I'm 28 now. I've done over 10 years consistently going to the gym pretty much every other day, consistently. So what makes me different to those that can't do that? That's because when I get the feeling of not wanting to do it, 99% of the time I push past that feeling and force myself to do it. And do I wish after that I listened to the prior feeling and didn't do it? Well, no, because I would be fat right now because I eat too much anyway. So if I didn't go to the gym, I'd be fat. And the repercussions of them actions would leak into many other areas of my life. Not just my weight, but my mentality, my finances, my businesses, my relationships with friends and family, because I would be unhappy in myself. So listening to feelings of past experiences are not always going to be the right way. And a lot of the times they're going to negatively impact your life in many ways. In order to achieve a life for a certain area, whether it's fitness, finances, relationships, whatever, you have to start thinking differently. And listening to your feelings in these scenarios, you've got to understand that they're the feelings, the same triggered feelings that have kept you in the situation that you don't want to be. And you know what? It's good. It's sometimes the biggest thing to push past mediocrity and start living a life that you want and start achieving stuff is simply pushing past your feelings when you don't want to do something and pushing through them hard times. Another note I've got here is feelings generally do not like hard work. Once again, what I said earlier is a lot of people are logically invested into something, but as soon as it starts encountering some hardships or some hard work, they start to differ off. And it surprises me the amount of people that think they can achieve stuff without putting in hard work initially. Now, of course, when you get to a certain stage, you can start to leverage and outsource and grow your businesses without so much hard work. But you'd be crazy if you think that you just instantly get that stuff, that compounding, without initially putting in some work. Feelings generally do not like hard work. And when humans come across hardships, whether once again it's with fitness, whether once again it's trying to ask a girl or a boy out that you've seen out and about, or whether you're trying to achieve something in business and launch products, launch brands that take a lot of effort, or launch a service-based business and powder the streets with leaflets and try and get clients, all of that stuff requires hard work. Hard work up front. But the human body is very good, and the human brain, at trying to avoid that hard work. And you've got to realize in yourself if you're actively avoiding that hard work. If you simply stopped avoiding that hard work and actually pushing into and leaning into hard times and hard work, the reward is straight on the other side of that. And everything that I've achieved with my media stuff, with my e-commerce company, with whatever I'm doing right now, has come at a cost of me pushing through the feelings when I don't want to do something and getting to the other side. And it's just a shame when so many people listen to their feelings and don't push through it. Your feelings do not know what are best for you at all times. That's what you've got to understand. Your feelings are not always relevant, and a lot of the time they are not relevant. So you've got to stop listening to them as much as you listen to them. They're weighing you down. And the final note here is that they avoid pain when it's necessary. Whether you like this or not, without pain and sacrifice, you will not achieve anything out of the ordinary. So yes, you can have a kid. Yes, you can get a normal job. Yes, you can be okay. But if you want to start achieving stuff that is extraordinary with your relationships, with your fitness, with your business, with your personal whatever, pain and sacrifice is absolutely necessary. Let me tell you just this year what I've sacrificed. I've sacrificed alcohol in order to push myself to the next level. I haven't drunk for about 10 months now. I've sacrificed friendships. There's a lot of friends that I've started realizing are not benefiting my life. And I've cut down my friends to just one handful of good, solid, real friends. Now, yeah, I've got other friends as well that are not as close, and I'd love to keep them in my life. But some friends when they don't benefit you in any way, when they just want you to come down the pub and drink and not bring any benefit to your life whatsoever, and they've got a negative mindset and they're not positive, then I had to make the decision to get rid of them. And that's not because I don't have time for them or I don't love them or that sort of stuff, but you have to sacrifice the old for the new, and you have to make room for what's good in your life. Some people are not willing to sacrifice friendships or alcohol or certain situations or going to certain places, or even sometimes family members that are dragging you down and limiting your time with them if they're not benefiting your life. And sacrifice is 100% necessary, because you can only fit a certain amount of good stuff in your life. You need a certain amount of positivity. You need a certain amount of people that are helping you push harder. You need a certain amount of people that are making you feel comfortable, a certain amount of people that make you feel happiness. And if some of them are leaking, if some of them are pulling from you rather than giving to you, then it doesn't make logical sense to keep them in your life. And it's hard, but you have to do it. But once again, the feelings are going to stop you doing that. And the feelings are going to stop you from getting rid of what's not helping you in your life. And let me tell you, them feelings are what's keeping you normal. It's very easy to keep friends that are not good for you. It's very easy to go to places that are not good for you. It's very easy to drink a load of beers or drink a load of glasses of wine when deep down you know it's not good for you. You know it's not bringing you towards the life that you want. Hey, it's your life. I'm not telling you to do anything. But if you know deep down that you shouldn't be doing something, then it is your duty to not do that and start doing what you want to do. In 10 years' time, what are you going to think about the actions that you've done today? Because trust me, you're going to feel it in 10 years. You will know who's been putting in the work in 10 years' time. That's what I'm saying. So let's do a summary on this. Feelings are overrated. And a lot of people are not going to like this, but feelings are overrated. I'm not talking about intuition. I'm not talking about deep, deep intuition. But you have to be more logical and stop letting your emotions push you about. Stop letting your feelings dictate the actions that you take. I've seen many people quit good businesses, many people quit good relationships, many people quit good friendships or whatever because they've listened to their feelings rather than logic. Feelings are just, I can't describe to you how many bad decisions I've made upon feelings. How many bad emails that I've sent on feelings that have later regretted me and cost me business decisions or friendships, or lost out on good business relationships, or my feelings have got in the way of me pushing harder into a certain business model because I wasn't willing to put in the hard work, because essentially my feelings stopped me from putting in that hard work and convinced me that it wasn't right for me. But if I'd stuck to that without listening to my feelings, my life would be exponentially better right now, both financially and mentally. And now I've learned that lesson in the last year or two, my life's going in a trajectory into the right place. But the truth is, if you're not willing to sacrifice and you're not willing to put in the hard work and you're not willing to overcome them bad feelings and just think with logic, you're going to struggle to achieve anything over mediocrity. And that's just the truth. And if you're okay with that, then that's fine. But mastering your mental state and mastering your mentality and confidence and building this confidence to become the person that you want to become, both financially, mentally and physically, you have to start ignoring your feelings a lot of the time. And that's just the truth. Your feelings don't know you. They don't know what your deep inner dreams are and ambitions. They're just feelings. and it sounds like a lot of people don't understand this because they feel like they're connected to you, but they're not. They're just feelings or limiting beliefs that are connected to old family members, or they're connected to your old past beliefs, or they're just connected to your body just not willing to put in hard work and not willing to be disciplined. And the truth is they're going to limit you in your life. If you know deep down what you want, and if you know what you want to achieve and you've got a solid plan to stick with that, then no matter what your feelings do, they're irrelevant. A lot of the time, they're just not relevant. You have to push past, and you have to do what you need to do. Do what is required to do. Not what you want to do, not what your feelings want to do, but what you know you need to do and what your duty is to be done in order for you to have a fulfilled life. Just remember that everything is compounding for or against you. And a lot of people, unfortunately, things are compounding against them. And these are the trolls, and these are the whiners, and these are the moaners, and these are the victims, because they're not overcoming these feelings. If you're on YouTube, I'd really appreciate if you went to the Mr. Hayden podcast on Spotify and subscribe to it. And if you're on Spotify, the Mr. Hayden YouTube channel, subscribe to it. I'll see you in the next video.